I think introverts can be just as outgoing and social as extroverts. I think that they have the potential to do that, and they're people that love other people. They just need to be alone to get energy and refill so that they can be able to be social with other people.
I don't think that being outgoing is a trait that's mutually exclusive to people that are extroverts, because introversion and extroversion is just about like where you get your energy from and where it drains.
If you were to go to a college where you didn't know anyone, it gives you that opportunity to decide, do I want to just lock myself in my room all day, or do I want to try getting different friends? And sometimes when doing that, you'll experience new things.
Even if you're introverted, you still want friends. Introvert, when I think of it, I don't think of it as someone who's like, oh, I just want to be a hermit and live alone for the rest of my life.
Most introverted college students are reflective people. They think and they live in their heads a lot. And sometimes that doesn't translate well into presenting what they're thinking. And because extroverts can kind of own the field, it makes it difficult, I think, for an introverted on the college campus to feel like they're presenting what they want to present. From the workshop I gave on introversion, I think a lot of students feel bad about taking that time to recharge away from other people, and that's unfortunate because it's just an important part of being an introvert.
I am an introvert. I go about things in a very independent way. I prefer to do things alone, to be alone.
Extrovert. I realized that I need to be around other people to be.
100% an extrovert. I get a lot of my energy from other people, and I love to hang out with people. I'm always out of the room 24/7. I always spend my time with other people.
Like 50-50, I think that's like an ambivert, technically. I enjoy being around people, and I like being by myself as well. And I think I always hit a point with both of those things where I always get that point where I'm like, this is not working anymore.
Like 3.
3 people.
6, if you don't include my professors.
I feel like I know a really good amount of people, especially with my job position. So I don't know, I would say like more than 100 for sure.
Here's the thing, it's a big challenge. I'm an extrovert with social anxiety. In college, you don't really know like anyone, whereas in like high school and elementary school, like you've known these people for so long.
When I came here, I didn't know anybody, and it was kind of cool to start conversations with people that I wouldn't have in the first place.
I think especially the first couple of weeks, it was like, it kind of felt like the more energetic and outgoing you were, the more likely people were to talk to you and be more interested in like getting to know you and becoming your friend.
At least like what I've experienced in college, like if you want to go to college and say like 2 sentences your entire time on campus, that's probably doable.
I don't think it's any harder for us to start an introduction or a conversation. I think it's just, we don't see it as a necessity, I guess. I mean, yeah, we always love having conversations with people. Once you get to know us, you'll never get us to stop sometimes.
I think I've met a lot of people that are really sociable and good with people, but they just don't spend as much time with people as an extrovert might.
For extroverts, they will go out of their way to introduce themselves, whereas us, it's more like if it comes along, we'll definitely just do it.
Introverts have like a negative connotation associated with them, thinking that they're antisocial, which antisocial is an actual disorder. So I think it's really sad that people just think that introverts are antisocial.
It is possible for an introverted person to exhibit those behaviors and just be more outgoing.
I referred a lot to Susan Cain's book called Quiet. Subtitle like The Value of Quiet People in a World That Can't Stop Talking, something like that. And she has done interviews with several well-known introverts who people think are extroverts because they present when they have to as an extrovert. So you can definitely learn to be extroverted when you have to. As college moves on, I think the introverts may win the game because they have an easier time of just doing what they need to do when it's time to really get buckled down and study, whereas extroverts have that, that FOMO. They might be missing out on something and they want to be a part of it.
As an extrovert, in my own experience, I will do everything but do my homework until like the last minute. I'm a big procrastinator.
Yeah, it's really just more about time management and productivity and not really about introversion or extroversion.
I know introverts who are terrible at schoolwork, and I know extroverts who are great at schoolwork. It's not like an always accurate stereotype.
COVID is the worst. Let me just go out and say that.
It sucks.
I think a lot of introverts have gone, this is a little bit of a blessing in disguise. I don't have to explain the fact that I'm not going out Friday night.
Now that we're trying to readjust into society, we're kind of forgetting how to make those connections with people again.
It sucks for both kinds of people, introverts or extroverts. You're gonna miss that human connection. You don't get the same feeling through a screen.
Honestly, if COVID wasn't a thing right now, I don't think my life would be any different. I don't think I would have met any more people than the 3 that I know.
Especially as being an RA, it's difficult. The dynamics are different. It's unlike any other year that we've had before.
In a lot of ways has kind of put a wedge between ourselves and others and kind of the way that we interact. Human beings weren't ever made to be alone.
It's not that you never want to be with people, it's you like to be selectively with people, and when you're with a person, you want to be with that person. And when you're an extrovert and you're with a big group of people, you're all charged up.
Extroverts and introverts are very similar. The only way that they're different is where they draw their energy from.
It's not that we don't like people, it's just that it's harder to stay with people for long periods of time. I think that's all it is.
I'll end the audio.
You don't want to add this in as a little blooper?
Blooper? I mean, I can do that. You're half and half. I like that. Mm-hmm. Kind of fun.
I'm best of both.
Here's a fun fact. I have a fear of filling out forms. I have an unhealthy fear of those things. And I don't know how I got to that from your question, but yeah. What was the question again?
Yeah, it's crazy. What's up, Micah? How you doing? Fantastic. Getting a little interview going. Have a great day. I'll see you later.
I'll end the recording, but we don't have to end the call. It's only 2:30. So, being 50% introvert, do you think that stereotype is 50% true for you?
I think there are some times where I just would rather be alone and people just bug me and they're not even doing anything, but I'm like, maybe don't talk to me.
Recharging those like social batteries. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah,
You're either
the
with
phrase that
people
they
or
use
you're by
over
yourself.
and over again every time they describe this topic. Gotta recharge my batteries. Extroverts recharge their batteries by going to parties. Introverts recharge their batteries by staying home in bed.
Are you, never mind, I won't ask that. That's totally fine.
That's totally fine.
Just because I'm spending time alone doesn't mean I'm using it to be productive. Like, it could just mean that I'm on YouTube for 10 hours not doing anything.
Right.
Because I don't go out and meet people. I just prefer not to. So.
Yeah. Introvert, hey.
I'm so bad at estimating numbers. Okay, let me think.
Sorry to catch you off guard. I can't edit this out.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to keep this in where I'm just like...
You're just like, let me think about that for a little bit.
Hard question, Rach. Like...
How can it affect who? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Sorry, I keep drinking so much. I'm thirsty.
Do you think that you're 50% introversion and 50% extroversion? I'll stop using that every time I ask you a question.
I call myself an extrovert, but I'm like barely an extrovert compared to like the stereotype of an extrovert. Like, oh yeah, let's get wasted.
So yeah. So that's it.
And yeah.
I have been asking these questions to other people too, so I can just have their answers in the video.
Are you saying you're gonna cut out some of my answers for the other questions?
No, I would never do that.
I don't believe you.
I mean, the thing has to be 4 to 7 minutes. What do you want me to do? Put only you in there?
Yes.